it's Sammy from Sammy's Sweet Life. Today I am just talking about how the Apple Watch is making me more productive as a stay-at-home mom. So I have just loved having my Apple Watch. It is purely just a convenience thing for me. I love having it right there whenever I need it versus having my phone. So I am home during the day a lot of times and I'll set my phone down various places. It's not something that I put in my pocket. Most of my clothes don't even have pockets, but it's not something I would put in my pocket anyway because I do have the 10S Max now, so I do have the biggest phone. So it's not something that I have on my person. It is somewhere nearby in the house, but it's not always within arm's reach. And so I love having everything on my wrist so that I always have everything that I need as far as productivity. So one of the real world momming applications for me is I use the Reminders app to keep track of my grocery list. And I have found that to be a really awesome thing. When I'm in the middle of cooking dinner, if I notice we're low on something, I can just press the button and talk to it. Right now I have Hey Siri hooked up to my phone, which my phone just went off. You can see it's catching it. I need to make it so that it's on my watch because I haven't gotten the gesture of lifting up my watch just right and setting off the Siri. I don't get it to, turn into Siri as soon as I flip my wrist. Hey Siri. So that time it worked. So both of them are going off actually right now. It's so easy and convenient to just be like, add bread to the grocery list reminders. And then it just goes ahead and adds it to our grocery list. And so I can just keep track of things as they're low in real time, not have to go find where my phone is to type it in or write it on some list somewhere that I may or may not have with me. If I happen to go to the grocery store while we're out, I just like always having it on me so that we can go to the grocery store as needed. Recently, Olivia had a doctor's appointment and we decided to go to the grocery store right after that appointment. And so I whipped up a meal plan really quick on my phone, added things to the grocery list. I already had like the running list of things that we're getting low on and that we'll need to replenish. And I just shopped from my grocery list on here. So I just go to the reminders and I have my grocery list right there for when I'm shopping. And so I don't have to have my phone out in the grocery store. I just glance down at my wrist as we're shopping and I can check things off really quick. I've had the Apple Watch for a little over a month now and I've pretty much used this grocery list the entire month. And it's just a game changer for me to have everything right there. There had been so many times in the past that I didn't have my grocery list on my phone or on my Apple Watch and I forgot my piece of paper at home and it was just kind of annoying. You forget things that way and now I just always have it on me and it's so convenient to have that list. And so the Reminders app has really come in handy for that. I do have a running list for places like Target and Costco that I don't hit up every single week. My grocery list is for just our everyday grocery store and we live in Austin, so our grocery store of choice is H-E-B. It's a Texas-based grocery store and I just keep track of it that way. And it's so easy to add things to the list just with the flick of a wrist or just, in my case, holding down the button. I don't always get the flick of the wrist just right to trigger Siri. I've really gotten into the habit of using that for my grocery list and it's so convenient. Another thing that's been really convenient as a mom thing, I use iCal, which is Apple's calendar, and I love that I get the events right on my watch. So it's a complication I have. I see the next event that's coming up, and as far as event notifications, I always set the alerts on my phone for like 30 minutes before we have an appointment or an event, and also when we have to leave or the day before, so I know this event is coming up depending on what it is. And I like having that in my phone, but when it reminds me, it's just a little ding here and there, and I miss those. If my phone's set on the other side of the room, if I'm in a different room altogether doing something, I miss those notifications, and now I don't. I have them, it just makes a little beep and vibration on my wrist, and I'm not missing all of those little notifications like, okay, you're 30 minutes away from whatever event, and we can go ahead and start getting ready for that and get out the door in plenty of time. I feel like I am way more on top of things like appointments and events and things. It just really makes it so those little things are not slipping and we're not like rushing to something, where I feel like before it can be really hit or miss using my phone for the calendar because I don't always have it nearby to hear those like hour before or 30-minute before reminders. And as somebody who never wore a watch before this, I like having the time right there. My little girl is learning more about time right now. She's 3.5 and she asks me what time it is and I have to go look at a clock or find my phone to find out the time, and now I can just actually look at my wrist. So that's not specifically an Apple Watch thing, that's an any watch thing, but it's really convenient now that she's constantly trying to figure out what time it is, and we talk about the time a lot. Also going along with that, the timer app has been really helpful for me. Since I do have a preschooler, we use the timer all the time as far as setting times for transition between activities, and she likes to set a timer and try to beat the clock for something, like getting dressed specifically. She'll want me to set the timer for a couple of minutes and see if she can beat the clock, and now I have that on my wrist versus, again, trying to look around to see where I set my phone down. It's not always on the same level of the house as us, and so it's really nice to just always have it right there on my wrist. It's just so convenient. It's just made my life flow a lot better, whereas before I'm like constantly looking for where I set my phone. Usually I know where it is. I'm like, oh, it's in the kitchen, I have to go get it, versus it's right here on my wrist and I press the button and it's done. I really love that convenience factor of keeping myself productive. I have been doing time blocking, which is just scheduling out your time when I have kid-free time. Like, a lot of my filming time is done when my little girl is having quiet time or when she's at preschool. She goes a couple of days a week. And so I have that time where I can be ultra productive. I can get chores done. I can film videos or edit or whatever I need to get done. I can run errands. And I really like to block out that time. I know what time I have to use that's child-free and I can get stuff done. The time blocking itself has been a really big game changer for me as far as keeping track of things and being really productive during that time. I do also schedule in downtime. So I do have like this section of time is just for scrolling on my phone or for relaxation or for whatever. I also schedule in my walks so that I have my 30-minute walking time to just get a little exercise in. But the time blocking I do through iCal. I just have a set up calendar that is called time blocking. So this is the planning out everything. And I love that I can do it through iCal and move things around as needed because I'm not always going to stick to it 100%. There'll be a time when I'm like really in the zone for editing. I'll push other events back or move things around so that I'm not interrupting those flow times, but it also helps me make sure I'm getting things done that need to be done as well. Like I said, I just use the iCal, and one thing I love about it, again, it'll tell me when I'm switching activities at the time of the event on this calendar. It's just my default setting that it tells me at the time of the event. And then it tells me on here what's coming up next. I love the time blocking in general, but I love also the Apple Watch holds me accountable to that. It'll beep when I'm supposed to switch my activity, and it's kept me keeping track of those time blocks a whole lot better than before. If my phone's on silent, it's not going to tell me those little reminder alerts, whereas my watch will now because I have it right there. I also like when I'm not doing a time block, like in the evening, I try to pick up the house for somewhere between like 5 and 15 minutes. I'll just set a timer and just go to town doing little tasks, tidying up and making sure that I'm keeping on top of keeping the house nice and organized. And so I'll use that timer for myself as well, not just for the kids stuff. And I also feel like the activity tracking has kept me more productive as far as keeping track of my steps. It gives me reminders throughout the day to stand up and to be more active. And so that's really helped motivate me, keeping on track of my walking and getting a little more exercise throughout the day. That is it as far as keeping on top of stay-at-home mom productivity. I would love to know one of your best tips for how you keep on top of things as a stay-at-home mom. Leave me a comment down below and let me know that tip. This is a work in progress. This is something I'm tweaking. I'm just incorporating my Apple Watch in to make me a lot more on top of everything, and I just love having the watch for that convenience. And I do feel like this month I've been super productive just having that on my wrist, having the reminders for things here and there, not always just kind of looking for my phone throughout the day. It seemed like at least a few times a day I'm like, where did I put that thing? Now most of the time I don't even need my phone for stuff. I just use my watch. So that's been really helpful for those little quick things. I hope you guys found this video helpful and you could gain a tip or two from this video. Be sure to give me a thumbs up if you liked this video. Be sure to subscribe so you can follow me along, and I will catch you next time. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye.